Good afternoon, everybody. It's your man Don the Avatar here with another video. I haven't done this in a while, but I wanted to talk about something. It's raining right now, waiting for things to happen. I just want you guys to know that, like, one thing people don't do that people should do more often is try to maintain a positive attitude. Life can get crazy, can get hectic, but the one thing you gotta remember is that, I learned that attitude is a better determiner of how things are gonna go in your life than what happens to you. I believe that in life is 10% of things that happen to you, but the other 90% is how do you as a person, how do you respond to those things? Sometimes you're in a position and you don't really know what's going to happen or how things are going to transpire or what will happen next or what will become of you in the situation. But one thing to remember is, your attitude oftentimes is a reflection of the kind of life that you live. Some people react very, very poorly to circumstances that are, I call it, undesirable. Everybody has certain situations that they would desire. You look out and you see certain people drive certain cars, or they live in a certain place, or they do certain things and enjoy their family or whatever, and it just all looks good from the outside, but you don't really know what's going on in that person's life. You also can't compare yourself to other people so much because we're all different. We're all our own people, and we all deal with situations differently. But the best way to control how things go for yourself is all about your attitude. Some people think that their positive attitude should be enough, but it depends on if your attitude is genuine. Are you genuinely content with whatever happens? Do you genuinely believe that the things you're dealing with or that the things you're going through, that they'll pass? Do you think that if you can get through this, you'll have to get through something else that's just as difficult or just as hard? Do you believe that certain things are going to go a certain way depending on how you respond to the situation? You start to realize that, the right attitude takes you a lot further than just react. Sometimes that's all you can do is react. But if you react with a certain attitude and a certain vibe about yourself, you'd be surprised just how things transpire. You'd be surprised that, somebody who may have lost their phone, lost their wallet, and perhaps they were wrongfully accused of something, and they end up in a holding cell. You would think that person would think that their life is over. You can think that if you want to, but believe it or not, it's not over. There's more to come and there's more to happen. Or what if your car breaks down and you're in the middle of nowhere? You don't have any cell phone reception, and you don't know if anything or anyone is gonna come after you, so you're kind of a sitting duck. Some people, they think that it's over. You gotta have the right attitude in these situations, any situation. The right attitude is what will get you through, and believe it or not, the right attitude will manifest the kind of situations that you want to happen for yourself. You always have to show yourself to be somebody who's willing to fight. You can't just let life and things in life push you around and get you down all the time. Otherwise, you're just gonna be this leaf blowing in the wind, hoping to land in good situations, when most of the time leaves, they get blown about. Sometimes they land in puddles of water, sometimes they land in the ocean. Sometimes they land in piles of, I'm not going to say the word because I'm sure you can figure out the rest. But don't be a leaf blowing in the wind. And that's why you got to have a foundation of the proper attitude. You have the right attitude. I don't tell people how to live their lives or what I think people should do, because honestly, I don't know what I should do half the time either. But this is just my perspective. And that's all I really can give. You can take it or leave it. But if you have the right attitude, the way things start to happen for you, the way things unfold, even the way, just in terms of how it'll allow you to respond better to things that are happening around you, you'll be able to have a better understanding of yourself and a better understanding of your circumstances and what's going on around you. At the end of the day, that's what you want. You want a heightened awareness of how things are transpiring. You don't want to be constantly in a state of perpetual panic because you're not even understanding what's going on in your immediate surroundings. You can't panic out here. You have to be strong-minded and strong-willed, and sometimes the best way to start that understanding is just to have a positive attitude. That's just my 2 cents on it. And if people start to understand that, their attitude is a reflection of their inner voice. Some people have the inner voice that just makes them have such little tact in a lot of situations. And you need to be in. What would you do if you're in a situation where you can't just either weasel your way out or try to use some kind of chicanery or nonsense? You can't do it. You're always going to end up worse off than you started. And the thing about life is like a current. It only keeps moving forward. You can't go back. You can't go back and change how things were a week ago, last month, last year. The only thing you can do is move forward, and how you move forward has everything to do with your attitude. You can decide right now that, what, life has just been kicking me, and I'm tired of being kicked around, and I want things to go better. Or you can decide, this is how my life is always going to be. I'm always going to be in a situation where I'm just not happy. I'm not content. I don't like how things are going, and I don't like the way things are going. I don't like my friends. I don't like my family. But you know what? You can always change these things. You can always change the friends you have. You can always change the dynamic you have with your family. It's all about your attitude. If you don't have the right attitude half the time, you end up worse off than you were when you initially started. I said that earlier in the video. And I mean, the reason I reiterate it is because there's so much truth to it. I've had the opportunity to meet some very knowledgeable, very wise older guys and work in this job that I'm on. And I can tell you that, just being around them, I just try to be a sponge because these guys have life experience, personal experience, that for somebody like me who hasn't had these experiences yet, it's valuable information because sometimes you don't get the opportunity to learn things firsthand. So the next best thing is to learn from the experience of others, especially if there are other people who have, some level of understanding or knowledge or wisdom that they can impart. Sometimes, the worst part is some people say they want things to happen, and then they're not receptive of the situations for the very things that they asked for. Some people ask to be stronger, and they think that the way that that's going to happen is they're going to go to sleep tonight and wake up, and they're going to wake up like Hercules. That's not how it works. Life is going to throw situations at you where you have to make a decision to be strong or to be weak. And again, how you respond has to do with your attitude. You know, that's just how I resonate on a spiritual level. You have to have the right attitude. I'm not telling people they have to do this or believe that, but it's just my perspective. So go ahead and think that, life is just going to be this way, or you're never going to have this, or you're never going to have that. And whether you believe it or you don't believe it, you prove yourself right either way every time. So I choose to believe that good things will happen, even when I'm not quite certain of what's going to happen. I just choose to believe that because I have my mind to do so. I have the mind to do so, and I'm always going to remember that, whatever I think in here affects 90% of what happens out there. And the 10% that happens to me, I have to remember. I have the 90%. That's just my 2 cents on it. If you're going through something in life, man, you're dealing with certain things, or you're not quite sure how things are going to go for you, your attitude is one thing that'll definitely give you the edge with regards to how you're going to respond and how you're going to deal with your situations, because it's not like you can hand off what you're going through to somebody else. You have to be ready to deal with it when it's time for you to deal with it. So that's just one thing to remember, guys. Just having a positive attitude goes a long way. It's been your boy Don the Avatar. Be sure to like, follow, subscribe. Leave a comment. Do you think that do you think attitude really gives you those opportunities? And let me know, what kind of an attitude do you think you have, or do you think you need to get what you desire? And maybe I'll make more videos on that. But I just wanted to get, this video out there and try to get back into this space here, because I've been gone for a while, haven't really posted. I've been doing some different things, and maybe I'll make a video updating what I've been up to, and I can maybe go into detail a little bit, or just give a brief, But that's all from me, guys. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. This is your boy Don the Avatar, and I'm out. Peace.